I think it probably is appropriate since we haven't had a bootlicker of the week in a while.
You didn't let me do it. I wanted to do it on Monday.
But it's very appropriate because unfortunately, this gentleman is not only somebody who is an advocate for saying that abortion is murder, so it's a good transition right into the conversation. He's also somebody who probably is likely to be the next governor of California.
No,
so
let's
I think
not say that.
guys, kind of gave it away.
Guys,
but our bootlicker of the week is Larry Elder.
Okay, so this man, while schooling Candace Owen, and let me be clear, she most definitely needs to be schooled, but in his educating her, basically was justifying, and I heard the clip, that reparations were made to slave owners for the loss of their property when after the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, yes, that did happen. I'm not disputing that happened, but he was essentially arguing that reparations should also include people who lost their property as well as slaves. Now, I'm just floored. Really. He is licking that big white boot because I just cannot. Yeah.
It gets to the point where you really have to wonder, are they just throwing smoke signals at the most, I would say it's not even a question about racism. It's just a question of, dealing with the most nationalistic people who see, the need to protect the sanctity of white culture, if you will, that, he may be black, but he's on our side.
Yeah,
he's not.
So
this
gentleman made the argument that, and he said, well, it could be argued, slavery was legal at the time and that was their property, so they should be compensated.
Amazing how you could jump to that conclusion.
Well, it's an argument that works in logic, but excludes all concept of rights and morality. So yes, in logic, that is true. If something is legal and that was yours at the time, then you should be compensated. Yes. But here's the thing, Larry, those things that were property should have never been property in the first place. So that's just ridiculous.
It's a very poor argument on his part. And that's putting it nicely, but to even make a suggestion that it's akin to slave ownership is just, at some point you just gotta.
People in California, please do not elect this person.
It's not a question of, and that's the thing about the recall election in California. It's not a question of him being elected.
No, they have to first agree to recall.
It's somewhat of a confusing process. And right now, a lot of people are very upset with Governor Newsom, and we even put it out there on social media. Hey, look, dude, you got CalCare that could be on your desk tomorrow. You want to make sure that you don't get recalled? Sign CalCare into law, become the first state to issue universal health care, and then the ball will roll and the whole country will have it.
We're not proponents of Governor Newsom, and quite honestly, I really don't have a horse in that race.
And as far as I'm concerned, the BS that we just saw the other day with somebody wearing a gorilla hat or a gorilla face mask and throwing eggs at Larry Elder. Are you mental? Are you trying to get him elected? Because that's what's going to happen.
I think that I can understand people not liking Governor Newsom. I'm just pretty confident that this gentleman is not the answer.
The argument, of course, is that if he ultimately wins, he's in there for a year, and then there'll be a Democratic governor in 2022. And that's it. It'll basically just be stagnation. The real argument for him that the conservatives are coming out with is they're just tired of the lockdowns. They think that's, again.
I would be too. And I still am very curious if there's any way to compare what our results have been in Florida versus
because
California.
There hasn't been anything in Florida. So on the one hand, you've got a state that has just been totally run amok with Governor DeSantis. And then on the other hand, you got a governor who's just kept it completely locked down, but he's kept it locked down for small business owners, working people. He kept it open for big business in the movie industry and organizations like that. So
pay to play.
Corporate politics it knows no bounds when it comes to the party line. It really doesn't. One party may be worse than the other, but that doesn't mean that makes it good. And so ultimately, we're going to see what happens because the election is on Tuesday. The recall election is Tuesday. And they are, I guess, pulling out the big guns. My argument, I'm assuming your argument would be as well, Governor Newsom, sign CalCare into law, and then you won't have to worry about anything. The whole state would rally.
It depends. I mean, I don't know where he gets his money from, and it would really depend, like how much of his money comes from health insurance and
They
big
say
pharma.
that they say that a vulnerable politician is a persuasive politician.
Yes.
So maybe he's very persuasive.
But then he also, it would have to turn his back on getting money from those industries to run for re-election again. See, it's a very fine line.
It is a very fine line.
When you're
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.